All right, so on the last slide, we saw that size and scope was the first big category of organizing businesses. So within that category of size and scope, we have a subcategory or a smaller way of classifying businesses. And it's actually based upon small versus large, okay? So when we say small versus large, what we're looking at is how many people work at that business, okay? How many people work at a particular business determines whether it's small or large. So a small business. A small business is defined as having less than 100 employees, okay? Small businesses make up 95% of all US businesses, okay? So this is a huge part of our free enterprise system, are these businesses that have less than 100 employees. That is the vast majority of all US businesses, okay? And they actually employ more than 50% of all non-government workers, okay? So small businesses are a huge part of our economy and our free enterprise system, okay? So though we may put the term small business on them, they have an extreme impact and importance within our society, okay? But remember, when we hear small business, we want to think of, okay, that's a business that has less than 100 employees. So then we move up to mid-sized businesses, okay? Now here we're between 100 and 1,000 employees. That would be considered a mid-sized business. It's not small, but it's not large, and it has between 100 and 1,000 employees. And then last, large business. Okay, so these are the big businesses that, you know, you'll see commercials for on TV. You'll see billboards for them. These are businesses that they have more than 1,000 employees. Okay, so that is the first way that we can break down different types of businesses. How many employees do they have? And based upon that, we would say they're either small, mid-size, or large. So continuing within the size and scope category, we have another subcategory, domestic versus global, okay? So a domestic business. This is a business that's going to sell its products only in its own country, okay? A business that sells its products only in its own country. And what that means is it's only going to sell the products in the country where it makes those products, okay? It's a lot smaller in scope, okay? Scope is how far out the business reaches, okay? So domestic business is going to have a smaller scope than a global business. So the example for a domestic business that I have here is a US shoe company, okay? So a shoe company that makes their shoes in the United States, and then it only sells those shoes within the United States of America. Okay, so that would be an example of a domestic business. Now let's compare that to a global business. Well, they're going to sell their products in more than one country. So using our same example here, we have our same US shoe company where they make their shoes in the United States, but then they also sell their shoes not only within the United States, but they also sell them in Canada and Mexico. So that would be an example of a global business. Now the trend within the, the trend in general is most businesses are looking to go global. They want to expand into larger markets. Okay, if you only sell in one country, well then you're limited in the number of people that you can sell to. If a country only has 50 million people in it and you only sell in that country, well, you know, your customer base is 50 million people. Now, say you decide to expand into other countries. Well, now you're not only selling to those same 50 million people, but the entire populations of those other countries. So we can see that there is advantages in going global. You increase the amount of customers that you can sell to. And for that reason, that is sort of a trend that we're seeing in today's business environment.